Hey guys, what's up? I know us sailors tend to like our rum and our beer and things like that. But on the other end of the spectrum, we gotta be healthy too. So I wanna share with you guys a little trick, especially right now while we're all trying to get rid of our quarantine extra pounds. A little trick to get some vegetables into your diet. I promise I won't take too much of your time. I know this is not what this channel is usually about, but we need to be healthy. So let's take a look at what we can do. And I've been doing this for years. So you need a blender. I know some people think smoothies for the breakfast are some sort of communist plot. They're not that bad. I don't like vegetables. I'm not a hippie. I don't like smoothies. This isn't a, lifestyle kind of thing for me. But you gotta do it. You gotta eat healthy. So, okay guys, this is super simple. What we're gonna do is grab some almond milk. I know it's witchcraft. I don't know why almond milk and not normal milk, but normal milk doesn't work right in smoothies. So we're just gonna pop in some almond milk. I don't measure anything. There we go, right up to the little bottom brim on the glass there usually works for me. And then I don't like spinach or kale or any of that sort of stuff. I really don't. I can't eat. I have trouble getting my greens in the morning. But I will put spinach in here, and I'll tell you why in a second. Because we're going to cut it with other stuff that tastes good, and you're not going to taste the spinach when we're done. So, big old handful of spinach. Bam, look at that. Beautiful. And then, we're going to blend that for about a minute just to make it all liquidy. So, let's do that. Medium. Go. Okay, that's nice and liquidy. And it's just basically spinach water because it's almond milk and stuff. But now comes the good part. So, frozen bananas. I just buy bananas, break them in half, stick them in a Ziploc bag, and then put them in the freezer. So, one frozen banana. And then we got frozen strawberries. They're at every grocery store. They're easy to find. They're already all sliced up. You don't have to do any work here. You just buy this thing. I'm gonna do a big old handful of those. And that's good. Then this blender is an Instapot blender. It has a smoothie button. So it'll run for like a minute and a half, but it'll pulse. So like slow, fast, and it'll let everything settle, and then it'll kick really hard. I imagine any blender will work just fine, but I'm just gonna hit smoothie on this, and then you can walk away. Okay, it's done. It's just finishing up, so that's it. So now you can get all your greeny spinach stuff for breakfast and not have to taste it. And it actually just tastes like strawberries and bananas, and it's really, really good. Don't taste the spinach at all. Although it does look really green, I get that, but trust me, it's not bad. It tastes just like strawberries and bananas. So I pack it in my little cup here, and I jump in the car and I go to work. So I can drink it on my way to work. So saves time in the morning, and it's healthy. See you guys. Okay guys, it's hot. I'm going to do a video on the new baby K. She's right here. And walk you guys through all the differences and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and compare it to the old one. We're gonna get like right down into the details, just in case anybody's out there ready to buy one of these things. Give you as much information as I have to hopefully help you with that decision. But before we make that video, I told you guys I got some new lights. You can see where Lady K's old lights used to be. Let me get down to the thing. Whoa, there we are. So for those of you who have been longtime followers, you'll know we lost this light off the coast of Miami in the Gulf Stream. So yeah, that's gonna be nice. Anyway, yeah, these are LEDs. I got these through Dan's Nautical Shop in Windsor. Yeah, LEDs, these were 30 bucks. So, who knows how long they'll last, but direct fit replacement, which is awesome. LEDs, so very low current draw. And I do also have to figure out how to get this rust off the side of the boat. Now Candace already tried with like some serious marine CLR compound that you rub on, you leave for 5 minutes, and then you wash it off. and it did not work. It took the Erie Canal smile off that was down here, but it didn't take this off. So I'm actually probably gonna wet sand that. I don't have much of a choice. I did the headlights. I do headlights on cars sometimes where you wet sand them and then you wax them. So I have a bunch of wet sandpaper from that project that I'll be able to hit this with, but it's pretty bad. So we'll see, guys. I don't know. Probably scrape these letters off too, because she's a registered vessel. She doesn't need the bow numbers anymore. But anyway, right now, clean this up. Just goes into the anchor locker anyway, so it's, you know, not a huge deal. But clean it up and see if we can fasten these new lights. And sadly, they're not labeled, so I don't know which one's port and which one's starboard. So I'm gonna have to go connect them to the battery to find out. But anyway, let's get cracking. Hey guys, what's up? So a little special treat for you today. We are going to be looking at doing the carb kit in an older outboard. And I know a lot of you guys have older outboards and they don't run quite right. And my policy is always with any outboard that I get secondhand is number one, do a carb kit and plugs, and then do gear oil and the impeller. It's all cheap stuff. None of it costs very much. And for the like 60 bucks you might spend on the whole shebang, it'll make the motor run really well. So we already did a carb kit on one of these old Mercs. It's a late 70s, early 80s Merc 7.5. This one happens to be a long shaft because sailboat, but it applies to all of the old Mercs and pretty much any other outboard. They're all about the same. So it's our friends Derek and Allison over there, and we're gonna bring it over to the dock box. I already got the tools ready. You need a socket set, screwdrivers, probably wire cutters, and a zip tie, because usually the fuel line is zip tied on. Why bother with hose clamps? It's a low pressure line. And just regular hand tools, and you can get the job done pretty easily. The carb kit, how much was the carb kit, Derek?
40 bucks.
40 bucks for the carb kit. So yeah, it's not too bad. So let's get a look at the motor. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Where do you want it?
On the dock box.
On the dock box?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna
move the paddleboard first.
No, she wants to move her paddleboard first. Come on, Derek. There you go. That's not that bad.
No, I'm not
All
getting the 9.9 though.
Let her get her paddleboard out of the way here. Okay, so we have a little carburetor in here, and we're just going to take this guy off. And actually it has actual fuel line clamps on it. Usually that's just a zip tie because it's not a high pressure line, but that's nice. So we have a fuel line clamp we got to take off, and then we'll pull this line off, get this wire out of the way. We don't know what that does yet. And take apart the throttle, and then the whole thing comes apart.
That's Sam the dead spider.
Sam the dead spider. Oh, we got a little dead spider right here. Right on. Okay, number one I'm going to go with is the choke cable, which is just a little ball ordeal. So we're going to want to pull that off. Yeah. Oh, you're going to do all the hard stuff. I'm going to film all the hard stuff. Okay, that's off. And then we undo that nut right there and take this whole assembly off the top.
What even is this thing for?
It holds down the
Oh wait, does power
choke
go?
linkage.
I feel like power goes through here.
I think it just clamps the wires down.
Yeah. Also, to mean those wires are for power, is what I'm assuming. We don't want to lose any.
Nuts out of the way. And then if you like, you can put the nut and washer back on. If it,
Don't we have? No, we have to pull that
off first. Then you can put the
Yeah.
nut and washer back on if you want.
just so we don't lose it.
Yeah.
Smart. Almost like you've done this before.
Yep. Okay. Now we can't lose that. Okay, now we got to get rid of this clamp here, and that's a one-time use clamp, so it's going to come off in pieces. And that's fine. We have hose clamps.
How do we cut
So
that?
it has to. Well, if it won't pull directly off.
Oh, just pull it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it'll have like a nub on the end of that fitting, so don't break that fitting. It's plastic, right?
Yeah,
The fitting that's
there's-
inside it.
There's no way we're getting.
Yeah. If it won't pull directly off easy, then we have to cut it.
The-
And it's a fuel line clamp, so they're hard to cut. But
Yeah, if we have to, I guess we can just.
yeah,
it's
the hose is
still-
long enough.
Oh, I feel like.
Whoa.
Okay, we're gonna still have to pry this metal.
Yeah, now you can
apart.
fiddle with it though, and it'll open up. Here, if you got to, go like this and come down on it. You know.
Yeah. Like.
Even if we nick the hose, it doesn't matter because we can take some hose. Oh, there you go. Wonderful.
To warm her up, she just comes right apart.
Yeah, there's 2 bolts.
There's that, and then we have.
Yeah,
to
that
take
pops out with it. That's
Does it
just a
really?
stem that sticks up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Comes
notice
out
that.
with it.
Okay, so I think it's just the 2 bolts.
Yep. All right.
Also, this wire is fucking.
This should
frayed.
move.
What the hell?
What?
That's
It's a ground.
okay. Well, that's crazy.
Right there. Yeah. It's a ground. I mean, you can replace the wire if you want to, but you might need to find a smaller wrench for this. I don't know.
Yeah, I might have to run over to my car.
Oh, there
and
it
grab
is.
Tools.
Hey. All right, there's 2 bolts that hold the carburetor onto the actual engine. And one of them is a nut that you can barely get to, and I think the other one's a socket with an extension, but Derek's going to get the 2 of them undone here.
I am I?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you should be fine. And if you have to use...
Tightening this thing up is going to be an absolute.
It's not that bad. It's loose. Shake the curb. And shit there. Oh, hang on. Got it.
Okay.
And then,
So that should just lift off.
yep, it lifts right up.
Yeah.
And then watch your stem, the black stem. There you go. Okay,
Carburetor.
put the nut back where it
Oh,
goes.
God, spider. Oh, look at that. You can see right into the motor.
Yep.
Oh, I really hope this fixes the friggin' thing.
It will.
Is this OSHA approved?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Occupational health and safety?
Yeah, sure.
What am I doing?
Just clean it. And use your rag and spray it in all the little channels and everything and everywhere you can get it. And then we're gonna take it apart and we're gonna spray all the insides of it.
Do I want this open?
No, it doesn't. Well, if you want to
Oh.
hold it open.
I see. It's on a spring, so
Yeah.
it ain't coming open. All right, hold on. Let me get that right.
What you want is the outside to be as clean as possible, so the taking apart process is less fiddly, if that makes sense.
Fiddly. Make it look like it came off the factory floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's easier to take apart if it's not all greasy.
Yeah. Or full of fuel. Does it?
Well, the bowl is going to be full right now, too.
No, after I finished with it.
Oh, no?
I covered my hand.
Okay. Well, it's empty then.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because it's the least amount of pieces to take apart. So this is the bowl of the carburetor, and inside there's a float that moves up and down. So the carburetor sits like that, and the bottom fills with fuel, and then it cuts the fuel when it is full of in the bowl with a needle valve. So the first thing we're going to do is take this bolt out, pull the bowl off, and there'll be one gasket for the bowl, but we want to clean the inside of the bowl. There'll be all the nasty stuff from all your bad fuel will be inside that bowl. It'll be stained and ugly, or it'll be spotless. I don't know, you know.
This is good. This motor is well over 30 years old.
Well, you never know when somebody did a carb kit, right? Okay, now very careful when you take it apart. There's pieces inside. Just be real gentle. Yep, and then just see inside the bowl.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah, right. Okay, now we want to take the float out, which is this pin. It'll probably go that way.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And don't lose the pin. We don't have any more.
Oh, fuck sakes. You're not making me feel very comfortable about all this. Are we sure that's right?
Yeah.
Like, do I need to use it?
Yeah.
Fucking...
Grab channel locks down here. The blue handle. And just squeeze it against this rail. And squeeze it against the rail that's closer to it. Or whatever you think's gonna work.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking like leverage.
Flip them around because the bottom jaw's longer.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
There you go. And there's some needle nose in the bag too if you need them. The other side. Yep. Again, don't lose this pin. There you go. Put it in the bowl or something. All right, now this float valve should come right out, but be careful, it's holding a needle valve. So look under it. There's the needle valve. So we want to take this needle valve out. This is what, so what happens is when the bowl is full, and this is all upside down. So when the bowl is full, the float rises, pushes on the needle valve and stops fuel from coming in. And then when the float drops down, because the bowl's empty, the needle valve drops down with it and fuel can come in. So that's how fuel into the carburetor is controlled. And look at this gasket, it's terrible.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This rubber gasket.
Looks clean as a whistle.
Look at it, it's dirt. It's dirt, it's literally dirt. So anyway, we want to take that needle valve out and we can probably just... There you go.
Holy fuck, that's tiny.
So does it have a rubber tip?
Holy, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it might be a little worn.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know.
Usually they have a black rubber tip, but this is probably fine. We'll see. Okay, we want to clean all in here, all in there, and get all this old gasket out. So if you got to use the dental pick or something, get that gasket out of there, and then carb clean the living stuff out of it.
You can drink, but you can't swear. I get it. Oh fuck.
There you go. There, look at that. That dirt is probably actually from fuel.
Probably.
Anyway, yeah, there's no moving parts that can fall out, so just blast it.
Say that until something does.
No, it's fine. And you can't let any of those little specks of crap stay in there because they'll clog up the needle valve. The little hole the needle valve plugs is microscopic, like
Well,
it has to be cleaned.
Should the stuff just fall out of here then if I just spray
Yeah, just keep
into it?
blasting it. Use the whole can, it doesn't matter. This stuff's cheap.
That was
There's
me.
dirt right there. Right in the little corner right there.
No, that's nothing.
That's dirt, it moved. Look, it's gone. Weird.
You can ask Allison how well I clean. Amateur versus pro.
You have to be like OCD when you do carbs because anything can clog a jet. So if you want, you can reassemble the float, put the needle valve back in. Is that clean? Maybe wash that with the rag, the little needle valve, just to make sure it doesn't have any dirt on it.
I was tempted to buy the actual full rebuild kit, but
I mean, if this doesn't work, then yes.
well,
That's kind of worn, but we'll see. If that's worn, the engine will flood, and I don't think that was your problem, but
well,
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, needle's back in, float goes back on.
Something.
You can clean that with the spray if you want to.
Just microscopic dirt. You
Yep.
never know.
It needs to be. It lives most of its life soaked in gas, so it's usually pretty clean, but
Where did this come on now? This just goes. Was there anything else I'm missing?
that's it.
No, that just sits there, and then we the
pin
pin
goes
that I
back in.
lost goes back in here. There.
All the way?
Yeah.
Yep. It can't go anywhere once the dome's on. It can't get out anyway, so
Can't escape me.
find your gasket.
Yeah, wasn't we presenting that?
Should make you survey my boat.
I don't know if you want me to do that. Actually 12 to 24,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's just goes
Yeah,
back
and you
in
want
there.
that to seat right in the middle of the gasket. This part's kind of tricky, so get the bolt, which is right there, and just start threading it in until it's like not quite snug,
And then make sure everything.
and then
is-
watch the gasket. It should be equal all the way around.
Yeah, okay.
That thing should sit. It's not a perfect thing, so
But
you get what I mean.
yeah, for sure, because you want it to seal. We don't want any
You
fuel
want it
leaks.
perfect and have equal gasket on the inside and the outside.
I'm gonna
That
tell you
looks
right
great.
now, you can go ahead and grab a micrometer and
Yeah,
test
we'll
that.
measure it all the way around. I
Yeah.
might have one in the bag, or it's in the boat.
How tight should this be? Can I over tighten it?
Just watch the gasket. It should sink into the gasket pretty good.
Oh yeah, it super does.
Yeah, then it's fine.
Okay, so that might not be exactly perfect, but I mean it's good enough.
That looks pretty good. I would say that's good enough. Okay, so that's the bottom end of the carburetor. So now we have to do the diaphragm pump,
Yay!
which is in between these plates. So the first thing we're gonna do is take that screw out and pull off this whole housing right here. Mercury.
Yeah, there's two different models. One, it's like Tolisto or something weird,
Yeah.
but they're supposed to be stamped. This one's not stamped.
So remember
So
which
is
way
this
this points, because that's important. It points towards the cage, so we'll just remember that. We don't have to tighten it until it's on the motor anyway. There you go. Boop. There's another gasket that needs changing.
No.
It looks like dead fish guts.
It does. It's actually really
So
nasty.
yeah, get that out of there. Hopefully it comes out in one piece. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's
All right,
good. Where'd
now
the
there-
other one go?
I threw it out.
Oh.
And take the screen out.
Screen.
You probably didn't get a new screen.
You are probably right.
So
we'll-
clean the screen and clean this with Carb Clean.
all this. Can I just spray it?
Yep. Yeah. Hesitate to stop and get a bigger screwdriver. You're okay?
That was not tight at all. That was
Sometimes
not
they
tight at all.
are. I've had to use like a hammer impact on these
I
things.
feel
before.
like someone has been in here before me.
Yeah, well, you can see the marks on the screws. Like it's been apart before, but I bet you not in 20 years, judging by the gaskets.
One.
So it's probably not a good idea. Okay, we got to remember which way these go. So that's like 2 or 3 different pieces.
What do you mean? Like,
So you have the cork piece or whatever this material is here.
yeah,
So
the
that was
order.
first.
right. Well, we're gonna do it like this.
And then we have this garbage.
It's not garbage. Oh fuck.
Okay, now the other thing is, in between these two plates, is
Yeah.
this is the fuel pump. So it's important. So maybe let's clean this first, and we'll try to do things systematically. Like clean this snot out of it. If you see little jets inside, try to spray them directly. If you see anything inside, I don't know. Something like that. So it's the one that fits. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll line it up after. We just want to stack it now so that we know, because we're going to get distracted with the pump. This is kind of complicated. All right.
Next.
Now, pay attention as this comes apart, because you want it to go back exactly the same way. And it's a very, very pliable material. There's 2 of them.
Oh fuck. Yeah. So there's a thick one and a thin one.
Yeah, they can both come off together. It's fine, as long as we know that it's the thin one on the bottom and the thick one on the top.
Oh,
Right.
that's weird.
Yeah, that's a diaphragm pump. So what happens is that little circle part pulsates back and forth and pumps the fuel up.
Okay, that makes sense. So if that's
Okay,
worth-
the whole thing.
Yeah, do it this way.
Yeah,
Well,
there. And then flip this thing onto it. And then hold it together while we put it on here. I don't know.
right.
Only goes one way.
Well, it's
I don't know which way.
I feel like it's got to be this way. Like, I feel like it has to be this way.
Did the pins go in?
Oh, there are. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So okay,
All
that,
right.
it has to be that way.
Then screws. I got a bigger screwdriver. If you need.
This one seems to be doing alright. Until I stab myself. Filthy, filthy screen.
Beauty. And it points at the cage.
Why? That's weird.
That's how the fuel gets in.
Yeah, but that's covered by the. Oh wait, maybe not. Never mind.
I think it points a little more toward you.
Yeah. Can I? I can
Yeah, you can move
adjust
it after. Yeah, with Bill's we left it loose until we got it on the thing, and then we put that line on it, and then moved it.
It's It's weird to me.
All right, so there's still the old gasket right here. We're gonna be very careful to take it off without it falling in the hole. We could stuff a rag in the hole if you're uncomfortable. Let's see how it works though.
It's molded right into the
Like the
machine.
carburetor's job is to meter the air and fuel coming in.
Yeah.
So if that thing is bad and a little bit of extra air gets in, then the carburetor's completely defeated.
And given the way that it was running, it wouldn't surprise me if this is the freaking part that...
Well, I don't know. I think all those bad gaskets, that was the problem. I think the pump wasn't working, the gaskets weren't working, and there's filth inside everything, so you're okay. They're supposed to be there. Yep. And then that pin rides on top of this surface here. This, I guess you want to call it like half a disc.
Yeah, it's my throttle.
There you go. Okay, now remember this nut on this side has to go on as the carburetor comes down.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Do you want me to get it?
If I switch spots.
Yeah.
You're doing this job. Your roller frilling. How does the line for frilling up your roller further?
From standing here like this at sunset.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go home burnt too.
Okay.
I totally forgot to put sunscreen on. Fuck.
Bugs.
Oh, I brought my
Sweaties.
computer by the way. Yeah, I might have to make that smaller. Because I don't want to freaking cut my hand on this
Are
thing.
you gonna be rummaging around in there like pulling sails up?
I could. You never know. I rummage around up there because I have to clean out. Oh, actually, hey, can your carb cleaner clean out my freaking pee hole?
Your what?
My water line hole.
What?
So.
Hang on.
Oh.
Just little moving parts here and there. Okay.
enough.
And then they won't rust.
I want to. So here's the thing.
The pee thing. Oh, is it so
This-
clogged?
This.
Use
so
a dental pick.
it comes out of here like
Yeah.
a fiend,
Yeah,
and then
so
it
it's-
gets all jammed up in there.
Yeah. See if you can put a dental pick through it.
Well, I would if I accidentally didn't put everything on the dental pick.
Yeah. If you need the other end, then just pull the rubber off. It's just because, oh, it's broken. All right, well, never mind. I probably broke it somehow.
Shit.
What did we do? Oh, I know what we did with Bill's. We pulled this hose off this end, hooked it on that end, and we put the dinghy pump on this end, and went woof. And it worked.
Fucking
Clean that thing right out.
All right.
You think it's clean?
Yeah, it should. I can't get this end off. I don't think.
Why?
I've tried.
Oh yeah. Where's the there?
Well, I just pulled it out.
It should.
It seems really tight on that.
Spin it while you pull it out. Go. Yep. And then put the other in there, and you get both through it.
Sugar in the timbers. Yeah.
Is there air coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh? All right. It's in the. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Oh, fuck right off. Put the choke in.
Yeah. Screw, which I think is on the right side of the carburetor.
Yeah, it's over here.
Yeah. We can play with that. So once you're off the throttle entirely,
Well, do I want it all the way down to shift? Won't that kill the engine?
a little bit above shift, wherever you're happy with it being at idle. Well, shift is going to be the lowest idle you can have so you don't damage the transmission when you shift. So see if it stalls, or if it feels like it's going to stall, try to catch it. Hey guys, if you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more episodes, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so YouTube actually tells you when a new episode's been released. I want to do something a little bit more for the patrons of Lady K Sailing. Those are the people that become patrons on Patreon. So patreon.com/Lady K Sailing. I don't want to take away from everybody else. So we're just going to try to give more to the channel. So one of the things I want to do starting next month is all patrons will get new episodes on Thursday instead of Friday. So they get it a day ahead of time. Also one-on-one chats with patrons. A lot of you guys ask me for video calls and stuff like that to run things by me, or to, you know, just have a discussion about things that you're thinking of doing to your boat and stuff like that, just to get my thoughts. I'm no expert on anything, but if you need somebody to bounce things off of, I'm happy to help. So we're going to open that up to patrons. and different things like that. So stay tuned for that next month. We're going to put a lot of effort into trying to give more to the channel and give more to people who support the channel. But as always, we're happy to do whatever how-to videos or whatever you guys want to see in every Friday's episode. So hit us up if you have anything you want us to do. We'll see you guys next week.